Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Thursday, 16th January 2025. Yes, we are halfway through the first month of 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Milford Road Esplanade. I am Adana Kambi. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice, yes, and be glad in it. Though we are into the dry season, we had some rainfall late last night and even into this morning, but it doesn't mean that it is the rainy season. Remember, the Met Office said that we have entered into the dry season. How are you guys doing this morning? It really is a pleasure to be coming to you this morning, being a part of your morning routine, whether you're in your kitchen making that fresh brew of coffee this morning, in your garden, or getting yourselves ready for work. It's always a pleasure coming to you and bringing you information about things happening in and around the Tobago. Before we get into all the discussions, of course, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, January 16, 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley defended his remarks about police officers allegedly hiding from criminals, claiming they were taken out of context. Speaking during a state of emergency debate, Rowley said his comments highlighted isolated incidents of criminal brazenness, not a general criticism of the police. The remarks drew backlash from the police commissioner, law enforcement representatives, and opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who called them reckless and damaging to morale. Rowley reiterated his support for law enforcement, while Minister Keith Scotland assured officers of the government's commitment to providing resources and support. Up next, Minister of Health Terence Singh has urged moderation in alcohol consumption, particularly during Carnival, following a survey showing a 10.9% increase in usage since 2011, with a notable 12.5% rise among women. Conducted by the Ministry of Health with PAHO and WHO, the survey revealed 51% of respondents consumed alcohol recently, with males at 59.6% and females at 43.4%. Singh emphasized self-management to reduce non-communicable disease risk and highlighted public advisory for 2025. The survey also reported tobacco use at 21.3% and mental health issues, including 13.6% experiencing depression predominantly among females. And finally, the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation presented a $200,000 check yesterday to Tobago region at its Scarborough head office. This funding underscores the division's commitment to supporting Trinidad and Tobago's national instrument and bolstering Tobago's steel pan fraternity competitiveness in the national panorama competition across all categories. Vice Chairman of Tobago region, Kadian Moore, expressed gratitude, stating, "We value this partnership with the division. This support benefits not only PAN players, but also contributes to the island's overall development." And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. And you know, of course, we continue to support our national instrument, the steel pan, and of course we look forward to its placement on the coat of arms, as mentioned a couple of months ago when this was agreed upon in cabinet. Biana,
yes,
an overcast morning this morning.
Yes, it is.
Sitting here on the Esplanade. I see we have a new set today.
Yes.
Of course, sponsored by Courts, Lowlands branch. Of course, if you want to get this couch set or any furniture set, you can go down to Courts. How are you feeling today, Biana? Getting ready. This is the day before the weekend, the last working day before we get into the weekend.
Feeling a bit confident and great, knowing that I'm still consistent.
you're always using that word consistent, and I like that it's still in the mix.
Yes.
And so we're gonna, of course, once you're consistent with things, you kind of see the projection, you kind of see the goals, you see the progress,
Yes.
and you're able to measure how far you are and how far you need to go. So, I want to take that into the weekend as well. I feel I'm going to take that into the weekend today, tomorrow, and for the rest of the weekend. Consistency, because I too have started a new goal that I set. And remaining consistent really is difficult, and it takes a lot of effort. So every time I think of giving up or slacking off, I'm going to remember you on that word. It's going to help me to achieve my goal. Bianna, thank you so much for being on set with us this morning and bringing the news in 90 seconds.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. Oh, so we don't have any photos this morning for our birthday shout-outs, but of course, happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh, Dario, how could I forget Dario Peters? Dario Peters is celebrating a birthday today, and I want to say happy birthday to you, Dario. God's richest blessings upon your life as our soul photo celebrant this morning. So we say happy birthday to you. And of course, for all of you who are celebrating a birthday as well, even if we don't have your photographs, whether you're celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, a promotion, or even your retirement, we say congratulations to you, and we join in the celebrations. But we remind you to put God first and to invite him, because he is the sole reason why there is even anything to celebrate. Who are we speaking with this morning on the Milford Road Esplanade on these comfortable couch sets? Who are we speaking with? Our first guest this morning is Miss Abini Taylor. She's an entrepreneur, and we're speaking about a new business venture, a woman in entrepreneurship, and we're going to have that conversation this morning. Of course, being on the Scarborough Milford Road Esplanade, we must speak with some of our local vendors. So of course, we're going to be speaking with two of those vendors today as well. You want to see what the offerings are, what the operations are like here on the Esplanade, and what has it been like since the relocation of the Isle of Tobago sign here on the Milford Road Esplanade. You want to be a part of those conversations. You want to hear what's happening on the island of Tobago. You want to hear what the buzz is all about here on the Esplanade. You want to put in your 2 cents as well. So of course, we invite you to be a part of the conversation. Remember, you can leave your comments on our live stream, whether you're viewing on Facebook live stream or on our YouTube channel or on Amplia 102. We say welcome, 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 and thank you so much for those of you who are viewing right here in Tobago, in Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, all of Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, wherever you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for making us your #1 choice for morning show here on the island of Tobago. We're going to start conversations in our outdoor studio very, very soon. But before we go, of course, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With Amplia TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with Amplia's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49SWIFT 4979438.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Attention! members of TWCU Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Are you ready to take the next step and help shape your credit union's future? This is your chance to get involved. We're now accepting nominations for elections at our 75th Annual General Meeting 2025. Open positions include spots on the Supervisory Committee, the Board of Directors, and the Credit Committee. Nomination packages are available on our website www.twcu.co.tt, or you can pick one up at our Port of Spain or Tobago offices. The completed forms can be dropped off at the said offices or emailed to nominations@twcu.co.tt no later than January 17th, 2025 at 3 p.m. For more information, visit our website at www.twcu.co.tt. Don't miss this opportunity to make a difference. Apply today and guide the future of your credit union. TWCU Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Our credit union, one family.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
It's only when I go abroad and I see what is out there and I come back and I measure against what is here. There is no comparison to beauty.
In some writings of our history, it is said that Christopher Columbus called it Bella Fauna, meaning beautifully formed.
Natural, beautiful, peaceful. Yes, I get emotional. That's why I'm here.
One of the fascinating things about nature, there is always something new, and especially in the tropics where there's such wide diversity, persons can experience and have the awe associated with some of the beaches we have, aquatic life we have, some of the fascinating birds we have within a day, within a short period of time.
You have the Caribbean Sea on one side, you have the Atlantic Ocean on the other side. On our doorstep, a fringe reef that wraps around the entire area. You have this huge amount of biodiversity and liveliness of the entire water that surrounds the island. We also do bioluminescent nighttime tours, which are like an escape into the deep, dark secrets of this, glowing phenomenon. It's like this almost cosmic effect. It's just something to be seen.
I know everybody in the village, and everybody know me. That is the nice thing about here.
Tobago is used to the extended family. There was always a grandmother, aunt, uncle. There was always love.
We eat and we drink, we laugh, and everything together.
Tobago, in one word to me, beautiful. Beautiful place to live.
It gives me great pleasure to be in Tobago and do what I do.
The sunsets here are probably bar none some of the nicest I've seen.
I would describe Tobago of one of the clean, serene, and the best place that anyone could come. Be easy, be happy, and have a good time. There is nothing to compare to.
This little dot called Tobago exists, and come visit.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. We're coming to you live from the Milford Road Esplanade in downtown Scarborough. Tobago is sitting right in front of the I Love Tobago sign. Just in case you're passing by and you're wondering what's happening, yes, this is the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We begin conversations this morning in studio, and of course we are going to be speaking about a very, very important topic, especially talking about empowerment. Yes, we're speaking this morning with Miss Abini Taylor. She's a serial entrepreneur, and we're speaking about Women in Entrepreneurship Club, a new business venture, and we're going to get straight into that conversation to see what is this about and how can I as a woman benefit from this club. Good morning and welcome.
As per usual, buenos dias, bonjour, good morning. Good morning to everyone who is locked on the live. I'm so happy to be here. It's a new year. So bon année.
Yes.
Feliz año nuevo. Happy New Year to everyone.
Of course, we have to bring that in. You are known for entrepreneurship on the island of Tobago, a school teacher by profession, and of course having a heart for business. Always looking for opportunities to plug in. Correct. Always looking for perhaps there might be a service that might be needed and you have the skill. Boom. Why not do it? Correct. I like that. Boom.
Boom. That's the opportunity right there.
I like that. And so we've known you for so many things. Sometimes we even question, does she sleep?
I do. 7 hours, 8 hours every single night. The night was made for sleeping and I love to sleep. Ask my mommy. Big up Daki, right through.
Right, and so now you have this new business venture, and I want to talk about the idea behind it. What was the genesis behind thinking, maybe this is a good idea for this business?
Right, so I want to make it clear. It's more like a movement rather than a business venture, because it's not something that I'm going to be accumulating revenue for. Let's say every 2 weeks, every month, etc. It's more of the theme, or the topic of the club is building a community of empowered women. So many women have business ideas on the island. So many women have business and don't know probably the next step, what to do.
how to connect with the right people. So it's like building a secure network. And last year, I would have had a woman in business social, aka a party with just women in business, but we wanted to network and speak in a less formal way. And there is where the seed was planted, believe it or not. And I am a seed planter. Right. And when I saw the interaction and how women were talking and sharing their handles for social media and numbers, I was like, nah, this has to continue. Because persons were saying, I've been invited to next event next month. So I said, not just turn it into an event, but turn it into a network where we could stick together and bond like a unofficial sorority. Because the benefits of the club, we're going to have prayer groups, travel updates, adventures. We just want to stick together as women because trust and believe we are so powerful together. Imagine that. So that's
and I like the ending there where you say we are so powerful together, because sometimes we think we're in a small space. Tobago is a small space, 112
But I should plug, there are some Trinidadians who actually joined the club.
Well, that's good.
So we're not limited to just
And that
Tobago.
leads me to my next question, because we're thinking the space is so small and there's so many businesses and we have to compete. I must win my sister. I must come up in front. So this club now, from what you're telling me, it seems as if, as you said, provides a secure and a safe space. How do you intend to use the network or the group, the pool of businesses that you have together to ensure everybody has a safe space, a fair space, and that they are able to promote their business and their particular identity?
What I always see it as, feel comfortable. People will always ask me, you're not afraid of competition? What competition? We don't have to compete. The power of a consumer is you have the power to choose. So let's say I usually come to you to get my hair done. If you're unavailable, who else is doing natural hair in Tobago again? I go to that other person. It's just like, and what I always tell people, you are what make your business unique. I will be doing the same thing you are doing, but what your personality and your ideas and your love for it is what makes your business unique, though we may be selling the same product or providing the same service. So I'm trying to use this community to encourage people to continue doing what you are doing, even if someone does the same thing as you. If they are booked, they can recommend you. If you know what I mean, if they have to create a wider space within that entrepreneurial part of like that field in particular, they can have you join that field. For example, let me say we have a hair show. The club has 5 hairdressers. They don't have 5 hairdressers for a hair show. Then we move on. We can't look at competition because trust and believe we will not grow. It's good to know what other persons are doing so you can band together or probably provide a more secure product also, but we shouldn't look at competition
or even learn from each other, learn techniques, learn skills, and continue to grow. And what I'm thinking about as you're speaking, especially let's use the hair show for example. We come out, we have our 5 hairdressers. My skill is in cornrows.
Yes. While mine is relaxers and hair textures.
While mine is in plaits or applying beads, accessories. And so you have the diversity there for the show. And this is what it should be about. And I really like the fact that you're thinking, I don't want to compete with my sisters, but I want to create a space for them where they can feel safe enough to express themselves. I'm a communication specialist by my profession.
As we know.
You know, I have to put that plug in there. I'm going to put it in there. You know, and of course, I don't see myself as necessarily better than the other person, but what I offer is unique to who I am. You bring a personality, right?
Correct. That's it. That is it. That is the selling price. That is the selling. That is saving grace.
Yes,
I would say you are what you bring, especially when we're talking about small businesses. Yeah, you are what makes your business unique. You are what makes your business loved by your consumers. So yeah, that's the kind of notion.
I really like that. In terms of empowerment, what are some of the events or activities that you have in mind that can create and cement the unity in that community?
So many things are planned, as in so many things that we are planning or events per quarter. So for this quarter, there is the vision board event, which is intimate. There is also the social, where we will be banding together in our specific entrepreneurial areas. So many things, and as I mentioned, I am a seed planter. So when ideas come, I promote them. I will keep it within our club, because trust and believe it is going to be a very powerful movement, because I see certain persons signing up and becoming members and I'm like, ooh, I didn't know that reached that person. So I'm very happy that persons are seeing the mission and the vision of this.
And that was leading to my next question, like what has the response been so far? Because I've seen it on the social media pages, I've seen the invitation for people to register. So what has the feedback been like?
It has been phenomenal.
I don't want it to be too big where we can't manage, but it's going to grow. So I would say just over 50 women have completed the membership form, and they are eager to know what its next event will be, because I need to be a part of this. And it was so heartwarming when I saw a person from Trinidad communicating and calling and WhatsApping. I said, we need to be part of this circle, and this can actually, you can jump into the fishbowl in Trinidad, and you know, we can, let's see what others are doing, because we wouldn't know about your business if I don't talk about your business. Gone are the days when they want to hide what you're doing. Of course, in the initial stage, they're gonna keep it personal, and then you advertise. But if you don't talk about your business, how do we know about your business?
That's right, that's right. You know, I really have to commend you on this. As I mentioned in the introduction, you have your hands in so many different things. And from I
blame my primary school for that though. Big up Scarborough Methodist, Picton Street.
That's right.
You had to do everything.
That's right.
You had to do everything.
That's right. You had to get involved in everything, whether it's music festival, whether it's
choral speaking, verse speaking, storytelling, sports. Big up Miss Baines, may your soul rest in peace, Arlene Daniel. Well, people you had Friska Jack, you had to do things. And that has become so normal for me, and even going up to bishops where we develop well-rounded students by providing them with a broad academic curriculum and a wide range of co-curricular activities. Being multifaceted was just in the pathway, just for you to just pitch on.
Right, that's right. You know, Abini, in this venture, what is the main thing that you want women in business to get from what you are trying to do? What is the one key thing you want them to hold on to?
Being confident in what you do. If you are not confident in what you do, how can I have confidence in what you bring forward? That's like my main thing. Persons will be like, I shine. That's okay. Get cards, get social media, speak through your social media, speak through your cards. If it is, you can walk up to someone and start talking about your business. I want you to be confident in what you do. I want you to understand what you do is definitely appreciated and loved and will be supported.
Abini Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, serial entrepreneur here on the island of Tobago. She has a hand in so many different things. We know her primarily for the School of Foreign Language. And of course, she's branched off to so many different things, successfully at that, you know, doing very well. And of course, building a community around herself. And this is the opportunity for women in business on the island of Tobago to be a part of the network that she built for herself. She's actually making this network available to all of us. I'm going to say us, yes, because I too am a woman in business here on the island of Tobago. So if you have not yet heard about it or you have not seen the forms, I think you should get in touch and try to see if you can register your business and be a part of the movement to empower women here on the island of Tobago. How do persons contact you to register?
Well, we actually have a Facebook, TikTok and Instagram page, the Women in Entrepreneurship Club. You can find us there and we can move forward.
Thank you so much, Abini. Of course, I wish you the very best with all of your endeavors and everything that you do, and I do hope that these women will grasp this opportunity and that you do create this community of strong, empowered women in business here on the island of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations. Of course, we're so happy that you join us. We're so happy that you're part of the conversation. We're seeing all your comments and we're so happy that you are here. But in the meantime, while we go for this break, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorns Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorns Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. We're coming to you live from the Milford Road Esplanade here in downtown Scarborough, Tobago. Of course, our furniture set is sponsored by Quartz. Yes, Quartz Furniture Store located at Lowlands Mall and also at the Port Mall. If you want to get this set, of course, you want to go down to the Lowlands branch to see what other items they might have that can catch your eye. I'm telling you, I'm sitting in comfort this morning. So thank you once again to Quartz Furniture Store. We continue conversations this morning in our outdoor studio. Yes, and we say thank you so much for joining us. And we're speaking this morning with Dr. Abina Thompson, and she is the owner of Jamaican Jerk Masters. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure having you here on our program this morning. And you know, once we're talking about jerk, you know, it's kind of synonymous with Jamaica. So, of course, the Jamaican Jerk Masters. Not just jerk, you know, we're talking about mastery here. So tell us a little bit about your business and, of course, what we can expect if we come to Jamaican Jerk Masters.
Well, we'll mainly be having Jamaican food as it states, the jerk chicken, the roast fish, the provision, of course roast provision as well. We'll be having the different soups from Jamaica, such as what we call manish water, which is basically a kind of goat soup. We'll also be having cow heel and other types of soup as we go along. But essentially it'll be a Jamaican-based menu. Oxtail, the curry chicken, the curry goat. I mean, I feel like if Jamaica showing off this morning.
Right? But how long have you been in business, and more so on the Esplanade?
Well, it's been recent. I just came on the Esplanade probably a few months ago. We decided to embark on this. So we're now basically developing things as we go along to have the restaurant here, trying to make sure that we have the best flavors, and you know, to have people feel comfortable coming and knowing that they'll get good quality food, because a lot of times I find Tobago, you know, we need to expand the palette of Tobago and really increase the types of food that are here. So I'm very happy to welcome that here. I've been in Tobago for several years now. I own another business which is Bright Smiles Dental, because I'm a dentist as well, and so I've been here for a while serving the community and trying my best to, you know, meet the demands of whatever demands are there in terms of my profession. But definitely I love food. I'm a big foodie. You know, I really try my best to control myself, but I love food.
You know, funny thing is, most times I speak to people from Jamaica, food is one of the primary parts of the conversation. You know, and I feel as if, especially people from the Caribbean, that's part of who we are.
Yes.
Because when you look at videos on social media and you see people on the outside, whether it's in New York, whether it's wherever they are, they talk about the food, the Caribbean food, and that makes them feel at home. So yeah, we could connect on that level. We could definitely connect on that level. You know, and being here on the Esplanade, how has business been? I know you recently opened a couple of months ago, but in terms of the foot traffic, especially as the Isle of Tobago sign has recently been relocated to this location, what is the foot traffic like for you in terms of people coming in, purchasing, or even inquiring about your business?
I feel as though since it's been under new management from Mr. McKenna, I feel as though there's been a significant drive to increase the traffic here to increase the exposure of the Esplanade and to really have people coming through and just make the place more welcoming and warm. I really feel like there's a significant drive for that, and I appreciate that. And so yeah, the traffic has definitely been good in terms of the people I see coming around and inquiring and wanting to taste the food, and so far so good in terms of what we've seen. Yeah.
And in terms of the relationship with the other vendors, do you feel as if they feel the same way, they have the same type of energy in terms of they're happy to be here, you know, and embracing what is happening at the Esplanade?
I definitely get that impression, for sure. I see that everybody has that, you know, as I said, because of the new management, there's a kind of rallying together. And I don't see any kind of negativity, no kind of negative energy. Everybody just seems to want to be happy and make money and do business in a positive sense. So I appreciate that so far, honestly.
Talking about making money, you know, that's the reason you go into business, right? Making money and stuff like that. In terms of your business, Jamaican Jerk Masters, what are your business hours in terms of opening hours? Is it all day or is it evening only? What is your hours of business like?
The aim is, well, not the aim, but so far the mornings is good. Say, for example, from like 7 o'clock in the morning to about, we'll probably have a break around after lunchtime. We'll have a little break and then do evening hours as well. Probably like from 5 to 7 or something like that. So those are the hours we basically have at the moment.
And you open every day of the week?
Except Mondays. Every day except Mondays.
Ah, yeah.
Except Mondays and Sundays.
Mondays and Sundays. Because sometimes you need a little chance to do your grocery shopping and get yourself together and probably just put your feet up a little bit, you know. Because I know the food industry is very, very demanding. And how has it been for you in terms of, listen, I mean, I know you mentioned that you're a dentist as well, so you have that, and you're also into the food business. How has it been for you in terms of balancing those two and ensuring that you provide a measure of service that is of high quality to your customers?
So I'm not doing this by myself. A friend of mine from Jamaica as well, I'm definitely not doing the cooking, if you ask. As much as I like the food, I definitely am not doing cooking. I have persons who do the cooking with me. A friend of mine, Renee Thompson, she's also, you know, working with me as well. We're doing this together mainly. And she's not right here. I know she's gone to do stuff to get things done for the business. But I also have other people involved that help to make the process seamless, because as you rightly said, I'm typically busy at the dental office and so therefore, and I also have another practice in Trinidad as well. So I really am busy half the time. So I do have the support system, and I appreciate that, because it's not easy to run business by yourself, let alone without a proper team that has the vision and understanding that we're all trying to serve the community. We're all trying to care about everybody. We're not coming from a place of selfishness. It's always love. It's always positivity. I always tell people that I associate with, I don't believe in maintaining interactions with people that, you know, want to be negative and don't want to show love and acceptance to people. I believe that we can all get along. We can all win, and we don't need to have any kind of negative, you know, association. So that's my mantra.
And you know, you're talking about the people that come together to support your business. Of course, it takes a village.
Yes.
You know, and you know, I'm happy for your village that is coming together, and I wish you the very best. But before you go, you need to tell our viewers where exactly, what units can we find you on the Esplanade?
So we're at Unit 12C. It's basically close to the ocean, right next to the ocean. Behind the what you call it, is the barbecue place on the left side where the Scotia Bank is.
Right.
So if you come where the Scotia Bank is, just ask where the Jamaican Jerk place is and you'll find it easy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you see there's diversity here at the Milford Road Esplanade. So many different vendors doing their businesses here. And of course, looking forward for the foot traffic. So you want to come on down when you come to take your photo in front of the Isle of Tobago stand. Walk around, see what is happening. And of course, enjoy the services that are being offered here. The goods, the products and services that are being offered here. And of course, Renee is wearing, sorry, not Renee. Because you brought Renee into the conversation. Yes. You know, Dr. Thompson, Abina Thompson, is wearing a beautiful smile this morning and talking about the excellent service that can be offered here at this Milford Road Esplanade. So come on down and patronize all the vendors who are here, even if you're just coming to take a photo, buy the sign, walk around, see what is happening, and reacquaint yourself with the Milford Road Esplanade. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a really short break before we continue conversations in our outdoor studio. I'm sitting on this lovely set sponsored by Courts Furniture Store. But before we go, of course, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop
put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. We're coming to you live from the Milford Road Esplanade here in downtown Scarborough, Tobago. And of course, our lovely set this morning is sponsored by Courts Furniture Store there at the Lowlands Mall. So if you're looking for something to furnish your home, check them out and see what is available for you. Remember, they have specials ongoing and you can benefit from what is happening there. All right, we are on the Esplanade, and as I mentioned before, we are going to be having conversations with some of the vendors who have their businesses right here. And guess what? Just last evening, I had the opportunity to speak with one of the business owners, Chef Kern of Smoke Boss. Yes, and I'm telling you, the experience was really, really amazing. And what I want to do right now is to give you a sneak peek as to what happened as I spoke with Chef Kern, as he spoke about his business and all the offerings and some of his clients and the things that he can provide and supply for you as a potential customer. So take a look at this, and of course, this is where we're going to end this morning, and we're hoping that you stay, look at the entire video, see what he's offering, and of course, after this, we head on over to GMT, so don't go away. Of course, we are going to ask you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live, only after the video that I'm going to share with you right now, after discussions with Chef Kern. Well, we're continuing the series here on the Milford Road Esplanade. Of course, you know, we have to continue speaking with some of our vendors, especially those who are located right behind the Isle of Tobago sign. We'll show you that in a short. But I am here at the Smoke Boss and Grill, and I'm about to speak with Chef Kern. Chef Kern, good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
So, you know, we were walking towards this, your establishment here, and the aroma, it caught us. Ooh, everything smells so lovely here. So tell us a little bit about your establishment, the Smoke Boss and Grill, and some of the things that you prepare on a daily for your customers.
Okay, well, Smoke Boss and Grill is a local grill food restaurant. We boast of our sauces and stuff like that because you won't find them anywhere else. All our sauces are unique to us. We do basically a wide range of meats, ranging from chicken. Well, we use local chicken, right? You have pork, fish, lamb, shrimp, ribs, steak, and the list goes on. Lobster, right? And we have a wide variety of side orders.
Wow. So, you know, after listing out all of those items, you know, before we get further into the discussion tonight, because I know a birdie told me I have a special order that you're preparing right now, but I want to place my order so I can taste for myself. So tonight I want to order some chicken, local chicken as you mentioned. I will have these sides here, creamy potato and some fries and some fresh salad.
What part of the chicken you would like?
I like leg and thigh, so I'll order some leg and thigh tonight. So hook me up and I'll come back to you in a short.
No problem, will do.
So this looks absolutely amazing. This here is my special friend, Mr. Lobster. I'm guessing this is garlic and butter. Garlic and herb and
garlic and herbs and butter.
This looks
mix
really
on a bit of lettuce.
Ooh, this looks good. And then this, of course, these are the shrimp kebabs.
Right.
And what type of sauce do you have on it?
Well, I have my signature barbecue sauce. I usually grill it with that. And then besides that, well, all our sauces are signature. We make all our sauces from scratch. So we have a gourmet garlic sauce, which does not contain egg at all. It's an eggless garlic sauce, right? So we have the shrimp kebabs. We have grilled potatoes with lettuce also, and the shrimp kebabs. That forms the combo, the shrimp combo. And then we have salmon fillet, boneless salmon, grilled potatoes also, and fresh salad.
Right, and then you have
some onion rings.
Right, and this is to go out for delivery for that customer who is waiting there wondering, where is my sumptuous dinner?
I have some customers that came in from Atlanta today, so they staying at the Magdalena Grand Hotel, so this is their order for dinner today.
Right, this is absolutely amazing. So is it fair to say that your customers come from far and wide?
From far and wide.
Right, and you enjoy cooking your signature dishes for these customers, especially with those sauces that you concoct for yourself?
Every time.
Oh gosh, and you have me salivating in here. Everything looks absolutely lovely, and the smell, the aroma of in here is How did you get into doing this type of work?
Well, it's been since small. My mother used to tell me, come in the kitchen, come and learn to cook. So as they used to say, so no man and go bust style on you. Right, so I learned a couple of things coming up along the years, and then I started to further my studies. I started to go more in depth into it. I started to create sauces. I started to create new flavors from already existing recipes and stuff like that. So yeah.
Wow, and how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this approximately 6 years professionally, but I've always been able to handle myself in the kitchen.
Right. I know the way. The kind of informal training, but then officially 6 years. And everything looks absolutely amazing. I don't want to keep you back. I don't want the food to get cold. I want you to pack everything up and get it ready for your customers who are waiting. So I'll just stand here and observe and take in all the smells, the aroma of what you are preparing for your customers.
No problem.
So, Chef Kern, I know my order is on the grill, and I can't wait to participate in the delicacies that you have offering here this evening. But I want to talk a little bit about the business here on the Scarborough Esplanade,
okay.
Especially with the sign being recently relocated. What has the business been like in terms of the foot traffic coming through here?
Well, we have been relocated since before Christmas, so we was at booth number 15 down on the other end of the Esplanade. So we came up. We moved with the sign basically, right? So since the sign has been constructed on this side of the Esplanade, the foot traffic has been increased. We have more people coming. We have visitors who probably don't know about the restaurant that would come to take a picture and just realize, oh, hey, it has something going on behind the sign. So the sign is a big attraction that brings more business to the brand itself.
And what are your opening hours, your hours of business?
Well, my opening hours at this present time is from 5 p.m. in the evening until 10 p.m. But I'm working on opening for lunch. So most likely in the near future, probably within the next couple of weeks, I should be open from 11 a.m. Go straight down to 10 a.m.
And 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
10 p.m. I understand the excitement. And in terms of your customers, what is the main or the most favorite or the most ordered menu on your meal meal on your menu?
The most ordered menu would be the chicken and the lamb and the pork core. As customers just come and say pork is the national meat at Tobago. Right, but the lamb, pork and chicken, especially the lamb is a delicacy, and the way we do our lamb, I can guarantee that it's totally different from anywhere else that you would find it on the island.
Should have ordered lamb, but of course when I come back the next time, viewers, I will be ordering lamb. But in the meantime, Chef Kern has to go and check in on my order and also some orders for deliveries as well.
Correct. Right.
Right, so viewers, my food is ready. thank you, Chef Kern, for my dinner tonight. But I want to talk a little bit about your future plans. What is next, or where do you go from here in terms of providing food for your customers? And I had a sneak peek as to what is happening, and I really am pleasantly surprised. I want to see how far you're going to take this business. Okay,
well, I plan to introduce a vegan menu along with a line of salads, specialty salads, right? That would appeal to people that some people don't like meats and stuff like that, so they prefer salads and stuff like that. We also intend to open back up our dining area. We usually have a nice portside, seaside dining where while you sit and eat, you get to see the ferry coming in and stuff like that. We also have a line of sauces and a line of local juices that we had on the market before, and we're going to rebrand it and reintroduce it to the market. So you'll have like barbecue sauce, garlic sauce, pepper sauce. I have 2 flavors of mother-in-law pepper sauce, that's tamarind and pineapple, and I also have several flavors of juices. Right, so I intend to bring that more to the forefront and see if I could get it into different mini marts and supermarkets across the island, so that you don't have to come directly to the restaurant every day to experience it. Right. Get it.
I like the diversity there in terms of trying to get them into supermarkets and local shelves. So if you want a smoke boss sauce, you could run to the supermarket and pick it up, and add that to your meal as well.
Because actually we started off with the products and them on the shelf before we actually got into the restaurant. Right, so at one point you would have gotten green seasoning and stuff like that from Smoke Boss on the shelves only. Right, when the restaurant came into play, the balance in the time, up off, so we end up with the restaurant full blown. So now we want to try to balance the two and get the whole line. Kind of trying to make Smoke Boss a household brand. You go in the cupboard, instead of you see a Mabel, you might see a Smoke Boss barbecue sauce.
That is something really good to to work towards, and I really hope that you do achieve that measure of success in your business. And for those of you who are wondering, Smoke Boss is located directly behind the Isle of Tobago sign. So when you come on the Milford Road Esplanade, if you're coming for an early dinner or even a later dinner, because he's open from 5 until 10 p.m., come on over and check him out. The menu consists of so many different choices and selections, and you will not be disappointed, because I'm smelling my dinner right now and I cannot wait to get into it. I wish you the very, very best in all that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing the dining area set up. I can actually see the vision that you have for yourself and for the business. And
at Smoke Boss, we offer a tailored menu also. So anything that you see there, let me say we have somebody like don't eat this or don't eat the other, we as how I'm the chef on spot, I'm able to tailor your menu to suit what it is you want. It's not written in stone as it is there. Right,
so you can mix and match as you go along and make things custom tailored to what your choice is. Chef Kern, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I want to continue the interview, but I really want to eat my dinner. So thank you so much and all the best. This is the moment. Ooh, look at the meats. So Chef Kern was so kind to have me sample. I ordered chicken, but I'm also sampling some pork tonight. I'm sorry for those of you who don't eat pork, but and it looks so juicy. Is it that I'm already salivating over this thing? It looks so juicy. Chef Kern, let me tell you if you get through, Let me tell you. So, this thing is so tender. Oh gosh! That was the pork. It's so tender. Not everybody gets pork right. Another thing I really like is pepper sauce. The pepper sauce is made by you as well?
Correct.
For me, if you can make pepper sauce, you could cook. Flavor. Flavor. The pepper sauce has flavor, good flavor. I like it. Let's try the creamy potato. The texture. Chef Kern, you get through. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to come and check out Smoke Boss. Right behind the Isle of Tobago sign. Let's try the chicken. This is good stuff. This is good stuff, and I don't want you all peeping into my box. So I'm closing up for now. But this is really good stuff. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
People need to start running, come into Smoke Boss to ensure you get the same experience that I had tonight. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you once again.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. Yeah.
I am truly honored and so very pleased to be here in Tobago. This office here in Tobago marks a momentous milestone in the ongoing efforts of the Procurement Board, the management, and the staff of the OPR to ensure that we fulfill the tremendous responsibility that has been entrusted to us, that of ensuring the integrity of public procurement activities and ultimately securing the public interests.
To better serve the island of Tobago, an Office of Procurement Regulation is here, up and running. One might ask, what's the importance of having this office? Having a well-regulated procurement system helps to promote fair competition among suppliers and contractors.
And what this building will represent for us in Tobago will be essentially a facility where central government services that ought to be delivered or performed in Tobago are housed under one roof so that Tobagonians will have easier access to these services.
In the ensuing months, technical teams from Port of Spain will be assigned on a periodic basis to support the operations of the Tobago office in the execution of a planned program of capacity building and technical assistance activities. So I would urge all the divisions of the THE to grasp these opportunities.
The OPR office is located in Crown Point at the Coliseum building.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The
morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Good morning, and we are joining you live from the Milford Road Scarborough Esplanade. This morning, as the rest of our mornings here this week, we have been having our Beneath the Surface series. Now this morning we are kindly sponsored by the lovely folks down there at Courts at the Port Mall Scarborough ground floor, as well as Courts at the Gulf City Mall Lowlands. Now this morning again I am joined by my co-host Mr. Luke Strid.
Good morning everyone, good morning and welcome to yet another episode right here on Tobago Updates of Beneath the Surface. Now for those of you new to the space, new to the Tobago Updates family, you don't know me from a place, that's okay. Just sit back, relax, and we're going to be having the conversation that you want to have. So before we get into the fun of it, we have to give you the news in 90 seconds.
Excellent. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley defended his remarks about police officers allegedly hiding from criminals, claiming they were taken out of context. Speaking during a state of emergency debate, Rowley stated that his comments highlighted isolated incidents of criminal brazenness, not a general criticism of the police. The remarks drew backlash from Police Commissioner, law enforcement representatives, and opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who called them reckless and damaging to morale. Rowley reiterated his support for law enforcement, while Minister Keith Scotland assured officers of the government's commitment to providing resources and support. Additionally, Minister of Health Terence Dialsing has urged moderation in alcohol consumption, particularly during Carnival, following a survey showing 10.9% increase in usage during 2011 with a notable 12.5% rise among women. Conducted by the Ministry of Health, PAHO, and the World Health Organization, the survey revealed that 51.5% of respondents consumed alcohol recently, with males at 59.6% and females at 43.4%. Dialsing emphasized self-management to reduce non-communicable diseases and highlighted a public advisory for 2025. The survey also reported tobacco use at 21.3% and mental health issues, including 13.6%, experienced depression, predominantly among women. And finally, the Division of Tourism, Culture and Antiquities presented $200,000 checks yesterday to Tobago region in the Scarborough head office. This funding underscores the division's commitment to supporting Trinidad and Tobago's national instruments and bolstering Tobago's steel band fraternity's competitiveness in the national panorama competition across categories. Vice Chairman of Tobago region, Cadian Moore, expressed gratitude, stating, "We value this partnership with the division. This support benefits not only PAN players, but also contributes to the island's overall development." And that was our news in 90 seconds. Now, Luke, this morning we're going to be getting into some really interesting discussion. But with this Beneath the Surface series, we have been able to get beneath what lies on the surface of what we see. We see policies being executed. We hear the feedback from all sectors of the society. Some persons in agreement, some persons not. But we oftentimes don't really get to hear some of the ideas behind the policies and, you know, what really caused our representatives to go in this direction or another, and whether or not it does align with the agenda that they came into office with, and if they are fulfilling that agenda.
Okay. And you know, Chanel, what I like about this series is that as the public, we sit down, we just see the execution, we just see the how, we just see why we are doing these things in Tobago. But it's always good to hear it from the actual politician, you know, the person who is leading, to find out what was the inspiration behind that, you know, what strike your interest. And most importantly, what I always love to find out is what would have motivated them to get into politics in the first place. And I love when we ask the question and we're hearing about their childhood, how they grew up, their community involvement. And when you put the pieces of the puzzle together, everything just makes sense. And I think that this series, Chanel, it's really healthy, because we oftentimes just view politicians as these invincible beings who must have everything nice. But at the end of the day, they are human beings. They probably have a little more responsibility than others, but they are human beings with real lives, real emotions, and real feelings. So it's always good to go beneath the surface of the glamorous side of the politics.
Excellent. And with that being said, viewers, this morning we have the privilege to sit here on the Scarborough Esplanade in front of the Isle of Tobago sign with Assemblyman Sonny Craig. And he is also the Assistant Secretary in the Office of the Chief Secretary with responsibility for the environment, climate change and energy. And we also heard the Chief Secretary talking a bit about that carbon sequestration when you entered into office. So this morning, tell the people a bit about what you are doing there as Assistant Secretary in the Office of the Chief Secretary.
Okay, a pleasant good morning to Tobago, Trinidad, the world. Good morning, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I think this is such a comforting space. Well, I really enjoying sitting here with you.
Well, this comfort has been brought to you by Courts Store. So we want to thank Courts this morning for our comfort here on the Scarborough Esplanade.
Big up, Courts. So, the Chief Secretary, when he did his realignment, he placed me in that position. That was in May 2024, to look at this whole conversation about the environment, climate change, energy. And when you say energy, we're considering alternative energy. And it has been a building experience for me, because a learning experience. Pulling this new department together is not an easy feat. I would admit that we are not where we want to be as yet. However, I am blessed with a team of professionals. I'm led by Mr. Linford Beckles. He might be known, I don't know if you know him, but he's well known in the Tobago space. He's one that stands in the gap when our groups go to meet parliamentary committees and so on to answer questions on behalf of Tobago. He's a specialist in the environment. I also have Miss Melanie Trim. She's a specialist in energy and all different types of alternative energy. And it's amazing to work with these young people and to see we have such an impressive cadre of persons in Tobago to lead this charge. We also have Mr. Robbins. Mr. Robbins' specialty is in coastal, climate change and coastal engineering and so on. So the island of Tobago is not immune from what the world is speaking about with regards to these topics, you know. Even if we do not have factories and mass industrialization on the island, there's no part of the world that escapes what happens to the environment when we are irresponsible. The larger countries that do most of the industrialization, the effects will be felt: global warming, erosion of the ozone layer. It doesn't happen only in one space. So Tobago needs to be conscious. Tobago needs to do their part. And so when we look at the island, our the greatest negativity will come from maybe the personal responsibility of the citizen. Persons on this island need to really get into this conversation, and it's my hope that during this year I'll be able to open up the conversation. As a matter of fact, today we are doing a promotional tape for the department, and we'll be beginning at Speyside, where parts of the school are run by alternative energy, and Ms. Trim would be there to do her part of that production. In Tobago, as I sit here, you know, we have the cars moving up and down right in front of us here, and we know the exhaust presents an environmental challenge. If you're old enough, you remember that there was a time when between our villages at twilight, candleflies, we call them. The modern people call them fireflies. We used to call them candleflies. Littered our communities. It was such a beautiful thing at twilight, at the setting of sun. These have long gone, and I recently had reason to be in a space in a country area, and I saw candleflies proliferate the air at twilight, and I said, look at that. And in our development, we need to be mindful of every element of the environment. One analogy that came to mind was recently when I heard that there were jellyfish at Pigeon Point. And when you do the research, you realize that turtles have jellyfish as a delicacy. And with that it made me conscious that also plastic bags could be mistaken for jellyfish in the sea. And so if a turtle eats a plastic bag, they become very sick or they could die. So if we are littering our water courses, if the runoff is taking plastic bags into the ocean, turtles are eating them. It doesn't surprise me that jellyfish are becoming more emboldened and coming to our beautiful beaches like Pigeon Point. So it touches a cycle. And a phrase we coined says it like this: protect your environment, protect yourself. Preserve your environment, preserve yourself. So there are many different levels of responsibility in the Tobago space that we need to look at and be able to make the adjustments. If you're old enough also, you'll know there was a time when Tobago was revered as such a clean space. Actually, not so long ago, I got that commendation from some foreign journalists visiting our landfill, and they said they were amazed at how the streets were clean and well kept. Now, sometimes we are not satisfied, because sometimes you're traveling, you might see a box from some chicken and fries on the roadway. You might see bags of garbage strewn somewhere where it shouldn't be. You might even see a refrigerator or a stove. And I'm not talking during the white waste cleanup. I'm talking just off the cuff. Sometimes you just meet a washing machine or a toilet set on the side of the road. And these constitute the kind of irresponsible behavior I'm speaking about. The mosquitoes, the AG aegypti, they love that opportunity to nest. And here we have diseases just coming onto our society just by how we treat our space as a people. So the environmental concern is not necessarily all about factory smoke and industrialization. It has a lot to do with how we treat our space. I am even trying to push this thing as far as your individual self, how you take care of yourself, how you manage your bedroom, how you manage your home, how you manage your street and your community. And this all adds up, because that sense of pride in the island will instruct how we develop the island. In building the greatest little island, it doesn't mean we have to copy everything, but it means that we could be selective and efficient in how we develop the island, yeah?
And, you know, Mr. Craig, it's so ironic that this morning we have such a rainy weather, because I remember probably was last year or year before, when we crossed paths, I was interviewing you at the legislature, and you left us with a really catchy phrase, have a sunny day.
Yes.
But the fluctuations we are seeing in weather, in terms of one day you might wake up in the morning, it's sunny, the next 5 minutes rain just come out of nowhere.
Right.
All these factors contribute to climate change. Now, we know that the island of Tobago is the smaller of the two in terms of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. And from the oil spill, we would have seen how vulnerable we are, how important our ecosystem is. And most importantly, from the perspective of small island developing states, we contribute the least amount of these carbon emissions, yet we always face the brunt, the full force.
Right.
So I want you to walk us through some of the strategies your division has implemented to really tackle climate change from a Tobago perspective.
All right. Well, as you mentioned, the oil spill, it was one of those areas where we were really tested. Yeah? Climate change is a large picture. It's a very large picture. And as I said earlier, as an island, we just need to get on board with the conversation and to look for our space. I'm looking at, when I was a child, I remember, and I wouldn't go that far back, but there was a time when Corpus Christi, rain fell. You could go out and plant the next day. There was a guarantee somehow that this was the beginning of the rainy season. I witnessed people do it in the last 10, 15 years, and after Corpus Christi rain, it's almost like if we went back to a dry season, and those plants were burnt up in the ground. As an island, I will not try to attribute any of the major factors as we contributing to those major factors. But as I said earlier, we cannot escape the ravages of it. If you look at islands like in the South Pacific, there are low-lying islands that are just disappearing because of the global warming effect and the melting of the ice shield. And we see tides rising in certain areas. In my lifetime, I've been able to see coastal changes in Tobago. There is a sandbar at Pigeon Point where people gather for dragon boat racing finals, and they have big parties there like I can't remember the name of the parties, but they have massive parties on this massive sandbar. And as a child, that was not there. And you look at the sandbar, you look at the curtain of trees surrounding the sandbar. Those trees represent where the shoreline was at one point. And so that could also come because the reef, the bleaching is happening in the reef. The bleaching is because of the penetration of the sunlight versus the depth of the water. The corals are suffering the ravages of that. So you'll realize that we are getting the effects, but it's not necessarily because of something we do directly as an island.
Correct.
And that bleaching and the death of corals would create a kind of graveyard effect because a lot of our beaches on the borders of reef systems are really constituted of dead coral. So if you take a handful of sand at Pigeon Point, especially on the side, no, the whole of Pigeon Point is surrounded by a reef, right? The Buku Reef comes right in, and if you take up a handful of sand, you'll realize that it's not necessarily sand per se, it's really chips of coral.
So that's what we see that at the nylon pool when we pick up?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
okay, great.
yes.
Okay, and as Luke would have asked, what is your department doing to combat climate change in Tobago?
We have the professionals on board. We're having the conversation recently. A team came from Trinidad and we had a meeting at Buku Point, Buku Multipurpose Facility, where we were looking at it and looking at what could be done. Now, if a decay or erosion is happening as a consequence of a global warming effect, you would appreciate that we as an island cannot necessarily stop global warming. But education is one of our greatest tools. Yeah, once the people could get to understand, and one of the things we have to do in this year is to seek to educate the Tobago public as to what these things constitute. I remember as a child also, I don't know, I have to do a lot of historical perspective.
It's okay.
Because that is the only way I could make the comparison to what's happening now. Right? I remember as a child when I used to go to the reef from Buku, and the amount of corals I saw. Step forward 20 years or so, and I went back, and I was disappointed as to the amount of corals, because in those early years, we didn't understand the value of the corals to the ecosystem, because people used to bring out large bundles of corals. We used to bleach them pure white and have them on display in our living areas. But that has stopped, because as persons in the Buku area and in those villages surrounding the reef discovered the importance of the reef, that has been stymied, you know. If you go to the reef there's a reef on the edge of the runway in Kern, where we call Kilgrim. It's really Friendship Bay. And that beach throws up massive sea fans every now and then. So there's a natural evolution of reefs. We just have to know how it happens and marry our behavior with the natural phenomenon so that we could create the sustenance we need as time goes by.
Right. There were people when this shift was made, when the reshuffle was made, who said that you were just placed in any position, meaningless, with nothing to do really, but basically put on a shelf.
Yeah.
How do you respond to those persons now with all the work that you have been doing in that area? And what would you say are some of the hallmarks to this shift for you?
Well, a lot of people talk, and I don't really always listen to much talk. I heard him, a good friend. I heard him say it, and he was not conscious, I imagine, of where we are as an island or as a region in relation to the larger topic. And maybe he couldn't see room for a conversation or room for a department in that. And that's his personal position. The chief secretary, I trust his wisdom more than that particular person or those persons. And if he thought that I could make a difference there, I'm going to make the difference there. Yeah. The promotional video we're doing at the moment is one where Tobagoans would be sensitized as to what we're doing. One of the things we're touching to, as we're saying environment, we also looking at partnering with the Division of Health in putting some real action behind some of our negative practices. Like, okay, I have a car that I loved, and maybe I went on my first date with it, but it's no longer working, it's now a derelict, and it's just parked on the side of the road. It's cheating somebody of that space that we could get to use our roadways efficiently. So we want to advise the public that we'll be on a move to remove them. We have begun already. We've moved some, but the relic cars will be moved. We have earmarked a space to store them temporarily. So if you want to get back the relic car, or if you didn't move it before we moved it, you still have a little chance to get it back. But these things add up to what I would say is something contrary to the real vision we have for the island. The island, there's no real rocket science in having our spaces clean and eliminating the use of certain harmful substances in our communities. We are also on another program where we want to eliminate the use of plastic bags. I was amazed when I went to Grenada 2 years ago and I got to the supermarket, and when I got to the cashier, she said, "Do you have a bag?" I said, "No." I said, "Well, this is 1975. Mommy used to give me a bag and my grocery list to go in the shop. Do you have a?" I said, "No." The lady pulled a bag from below the counter and she swiped it on a checker and she charged me an extra $1. And this was a biodegradable bag. And I realized that in those islands, I saw it also in St. Lucia last year, they have eliminated the use of plastic bags. This is a change that will come to Tobago. Changes always create some discomfort, but most times this discomfort are really in your mind. It's really up here. But if you look at it carefully and you love your environment and you want to preserve your environment, because the burning of plastics is one of the things that we do that add to the depletion of the ozone layer, right? The gases emitted from burning plastic does that to our environment. So we have an opportunity to actually make an actual dent. Plastics, they do not decay. If you go to the landfill, I'll be in the landfill today, and you see the quantum of plastic bags. You see them you can't miss them. They dominated the space. And we are on a drive to supply the island with bags. The initial supply of bags would be free to the Tobagonian, right? And not Tobagonian, the people living on the island, sorry. It will be free to them. And as we develop the practice, persons would be encouraged to keep that bag with them. Put it in your glove compartment. You're going down the road and you got the call to bring home 2 pack of flying fish and a pound of flour. You just pull it back from the glove compartment and you go into the supermarket and you purchase. Or the supermarket might be able to sell you a biodegradable bag.
Okay. And this is in partnership with which organization?
Well, it came to us in conversation from the chamber, right? And because the chamber, along with the chamber, we have most of the mass retailers in the country are a part of that movement. So this is something that would be coming on board, and it will present a lot of opportunities in the long term for the manufacture and the proliferation of the bag program.
And what about that recycling / eco organization down there at Shore Park?
Yeah.
Is that a part of the strategy that you have been utilizing? Are you utilizing their service? Because they have already been doing a lot of work where climate change and the environment is concerned. How are you incorporating these private sector entities into the work that you're doing?
No attempt to work with the THA towards this success would be looked on lightly, right? So we are definitely going to be encouraging public-private partnerships as we seek to eliminate the use of plastic bags. We know that plastic bottles are on our next. That's our next big filler in the landfill. Plastic bottles. So we want to also tackle that. There's a lot of technology and a lot of science, a lot of research. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We see if we go online, we could see what is happening with tires, used car tires, used truck and backhoe tires. Tires of all types are being collected and recycled. Some being used back in the pitching of roads, the production of roads, some on Mondo tracks. And the list is a very long list of what you could do with recycled stuff. There are persons overseas presently presenting options for us to consider. And of course, we'll have to look at them. They must come in tandem with the THA's policy and the legal framework under which the THA functions. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. See you soon.
On. You don't want to miss the best moments. With Amplia TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with Amplia's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Attention, members of TWCU Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Are you ready to take the next step and help shape your credit union's future? This is your chance to get involved. We're now accepting nominations for elections at our 75th Annual General Meeting 2025. Open positions include spots on the Supervisory Committee, the Board of Directors, and the Credit Committee. Nomination packages are available on our website www.twcu.co.tt, or you can pick one up at our Port of Spain or Tobago offices. The completed forms can be dropped off at the said offices or emailed to nominations@twcu.co.tt no later than January 17th, 2025 at 3 p.m. For more information, visit our website at www.twcu.co.tt. Don't miss this opportunity to make a difference. Apply today and guide the future of your credit union. TWCU Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Our credit union, one family.
Beneath the Surface actually series. Now, viewers, it's a very rainy day, so I hope you all are being safe on the roads. But as we continue this morning's conversation, Mr. Craig, take us back to December 6, 2021. I remember the results coming out for your district, especially. It was a very tight margin. Mr. Dennis 920, you 924. How did you feel initially when you got those results coming in?
I felt humbled. It was such a message that you are not here on your own.
Correct.
I felt it was divine. You know, like Mr. Dennis, of course, he asked for a recount, and after 2 recounts, we moved from a 2 margin to 4. Yeah, I felt humbled. I realized at that point, early in this journey, that this is not a journey about me. It's a journey about my community. It's a journey about developing the people of Tobago. And I had to keep my journey as pure as I could. That's only divine, because as much as we could try to be as good as we want, you need to keep praying, you need to keep focused and depend on something bigger than yourself. Because I'm saying to, after I saw the results, I realized this is not about me, it's about calling on my life to do this. Yeah. So and the 3 years has been very interesting.
So talk to me about that, Mr. Craig. So you were selected to be the area representative. So walk us through what were your initial plans and goals for the area, and were you able to execute some of those plans?
When you're outside looking in, you could make a lot of plans. When you get in, sometimes you have to do a reassessment of those plans. So I looked at the community. There are some strengths. The communities come with their strengths.
Such as?
Bukuman Peasant is the only district that has the goat race festival in a major way. As the villages are quoted on the ballot sheet, Bukuman Peasant, those are the two villages. Buku has the bigger of the two goat races and the older of the two goat races. So in my estimation, I saw room for a strong agricultural base in Bukuman Peasant that focuses on the development of the different breed of goats and so on. It will just marry nicely into the whole goat race concept. It's not an idea that I've thrown away, but I've not been able to activate it as yet, right? Because in the community of Bukuman Peasant, and of course it envelops Kern all the way down to Penny Savers. So once you know Penny Savers supermarket, and that's the road they call Center Street, that's the boundary line between myself and Joel Sampson. So, and it goes right back up to Shivita shop in Lowlands area there, what you call Hampden. So, most of the terrain of my district is flat, basically flat terrain, perfect for so many different options. We also have the Buku Reef as a part of it. The Great No Man's Land is part of it. And we go down to as far as Grange Bay. Grange Bay is one of Tobago's best beaches, which people listen to rumors and they do not try Grange Bay, but Grange Bay is one of the top 3 beaches in Tobago. Buku is one of the top 3 also. I won't tell you which is the next one. Let the rest of the island fight for that. So I looked at all these strengths in the district, and I thought to myself, like, Buku Beach is trending. Buku Beach is the beach that a lot of people spend their Sundays. Families come down there and they drive in under the trees and they park, they pull out their picnic stuff and they have a sea bath and they have meals and so on. There's need for some development in those areas. But one of the greatest challenges in accomplishing what we want to accomplish on the island is funding. Funding coming to the island must be prioritized. And there are day-to-day, the cost of day-to-day survival on the island, recurrent expenditure is in the billions. And of course, development funding is less than 300 million. And looking at what the island needs, we cannot move apace as we would like. And we just have to be able to steer and turn this funding as we see fit, as we see the needs of the island.
What about what your community needs, Mr. Craig?
The greatest need in my community, but now infrastructure development is needed all around the island. But I think people development. When we coin the phrase greatest little island on the planet, people will see it in many different ways. Some people will see it as the greatest architecture of all the small islands, the greatest road network of all the islands. But you put the greatest infrastructure and everything in the hands of people who do not understand their value and who do not work to preserving them, the greatness would just be a show. Because in the political space, you'll find persons previously spoke about how many the PNM, how many multi-purpose facilities they built, how many of this, how many of that, and the development of people. So in my journey in the last 3 years, jobs are the biggest cry. Jobs. People need jobs. And how that is interpreted is a very touchy subject, because persons with qualifications are settling for menial jobs. And in the true sense of the word, there is no menial job. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Every job is necessary. I mean, we don't need the drug pushers and those
Correct,
if that was to be called a job. But we need the maintenance people who keep our streets clean, who keep the brush under control and so on. Right? We need to strike a balance between how many people make that their objective versus those who could do better.
Correct.
Those who could do better. And I am not going to at any point undervalue the intelligence quotient of the Tobagonian. Because I think if out of our first 7 presidents we could produce one, when we have really 5% of the population and we could produce a president, if out of the first 7 prime ministers we could produce 2, it speaks to something special about Tobago. So I'm thinking that a lot of Tobagonians could be cutting themselves short in their life dream and their aspirations of what they would like to be. So people come to me many times and they ask for a job.
Okay.
And my next question would be, not that I could give them a job, but I would ask them, as a responsible area rep, what are your qualifications? And in many cases, in few cases, you will get a bachelor's or a master's, but mostly persons are not so qualified to take advantage of some of the offerings, and they would settle for whatever they could get. So I'm thinking that out of the island, we need to look in a direction where we could encourage our youth to aspire. Because some would tell me, I would ask them, what did you want to be when you were a child? When you were in preschool, primary school, coming up, of course, a lot of the young men want to be pilots. A lot of the young women want to be pediatricians. We have a lot of doctors, aspiring doctors. Some even said, I wanted to do business, you know? And the choices are so many as children. But as they get older and they meet the ravages of life, they might have made a few bad turns along the way. They just abolish these dreams and they settle for whatever could give them a food, give them some.
I don't know, Mr. Craig,
Yeah.
to wrap up this conversation, I just want you to tell us quickly, in terms of you being the area representative, we recognize that Buku Mount Pleasant is home to one of Tobago's cultural calling cards. So you highlight the Go Tourist Festival and those lovely events you see during Easter. Can we see, as area representative, probably in the year 2025, or if it is the Tobagonians give you an option for renewal another 4 years, can we see you as area representative finding ways to merge that cultural aspect of your area and the need for jobs? Like you touched on, you want to touch on the different species of goats. Can we see jobs being created that are unique to the cultural aspect of Buku Mount Pleasant?
Definitely. And that's how it goes, and it works in tandem, because you have development, but your development must also be partnered with the development of your people. And I think I might have been taking a long time to get to that. And I appreciate that you took me there quickly.
No problem.
So you're looking at developing your island or your communities, and you're looking at having your young people or whoever is so willing trained to embrace this. For example, in larger countries, you would find that there's a plan to bring, like, we want to build the city of Scarborough. Therefore, right now, our Secretary for Education, Ms. Zorisha Hackett, is looking at restoring the trade schools. Because you're building a city of Scarborough, there would be such a great demand for masons and carpenters. And once we get off that albatross around our neck that is denying us our funding, and we get this development program going, you would be surprised to see that as the young people are trained, I keep saying young, but you'll appreciate that building a great island would need that energy that youth bring to the table. I'm not eliminating the older, but we could have these training programs going. We have our trade schools being reactivated, and we have MEC at Kern. We have these options. So I try to steer my young people in my district to taking advantage of the opportunities. So as the island grows, as my district grows, I am encouraging them in agriculture, because if we are to develop the goat program, we would need them. So that they work in tandem.
Excellent, Mr. Craig. So we're going to take a quick break. Viewers, stick with us. Please stick with us. The conversation is very healthy, as you can see. And this is Beneath the Surface, brought to you none by Tobago Updates. So remember to share the live, and we'll be right back.
Mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. We are joining you live from the Scarborough Esplanade right at Milford Road, Scarborough. Now, this morning our set has been sponsored to you by Courts, and we are here having a really interesting conversation while sitting in style and relaxing, courtesy Courts, and their stores are located at the ground floor of the Port Mall as well as the Lowlands, Gulf City Mall, Lowlands. We continue our conversation with Assemblyman Sonny Craig. We continue talking about what has been happening in your district. Since you have become the area representative for the area Buku Mount Pleasant, what have you implemented that wasn't there before that has really changed the trajectory of your district?
All right. Right. Buku Mount Pleasant has
It's okay.
Had basically strong infrastructure when we began. We had the goat race facility. We have basic. What I try to bring to the area, like for one, in 2023, we had the first Tobago Swim Fest. Tobago Swim Fest was an open water swimming competition that took the swimmers from Pigeon Point all the way to Buku Point, a 4-kilometer swim. And I thought that one of the strengths of Tobago is that we have a very strong sea culture. And that strong sea culture lends itself to competitive banter between young men and young women as to which village has the swimming supremacy. And so that's one new idea I brought to the community, right? And as in most cases, as a new option, it is to be built. We had to continue building on it. We had I think it was a very attractive price for a first event, a $10,000 first price, 10,000, 7,000, 5,000 first, second, and third, and which was run by Mr. Dante Williams, right? So we are hoping to bring it off again in 2025, make it a biannual event, because we want to make it international. Actually, you cannot have the best quality seawater in the region and not maximize its use. So then we are still pursuing doing another swim fest in 2025. There are other options coming on board, as I spoke, in the field of agriculture. This is awaiting the clearances from land management. There is also the reality of the lands that are part of my district are also the lands that were earmarked for the Sanders Hotel, Sanders Beach Resort. These are the same properties we had in mind for agricultural projects. So we're trying to clear the air on that to ensure, should we put any development into these spaces, we would not meet any legal challenges or anything like that as we go along, right? We are also pursuing the development, and I'm also pulling together a list of young entrepreneurs who are interested in doing business. They come to me and they have great plans, but as a former business person, I know that they are not necessarily abreast of everything they need to be abreast of in becoming entrepreneurs. So we are working with them as a district, as my district office, we are working with them. We are also on the verge of holding a meeting with the Secretary of Finance to have conversations with them as to what the real essence of doing business is about. There are a lot of people who do business in Tobago and they do not necessarily enjoy the sweetness of the business because they go in, is it ill-advised or without advice? There are simple state regulations that, if not met, impact your business negatively. From the registration of your business, whether or not you are registered, whether or not you are meeting BIR, Board of Inland Revenue requirements, and other state requirements. So there's that training coming on board in the first quarter for persons who are interested in doing business, and we are going to help them and walk them through the process. Those are just basically three of the
And what do you say to the young persons within your district? I mean, you had a swimming competition, but what do you say to the people in your district who are saying, well, you are out of touch with what the youths really want and you have not done anything that truly appeals to them or engage young people in a way that brings about fundamental change for persons in the Buku Mount Pleasant area, specifically the Mount Pleasant area, where you have a lot of at-risk youth in the community. What would you say to those persons? And you have one more year in office. What do you think you can do with that time left to engage those people?
The conversation continues because I have these conversations with the young people, and some young people they don't have a long list of requirements. I will meet the guys on the block and we'll have conversations, and I try to steer them in a direction, but their list is not hard to meet. Sometimes it might not be sustainable, and sometimes it might not necessarily add up to. I'm not saying that they don't know what's best for themselves, but my experience would tell me how I could advise.
Right, and what are they really asking for?
But sometimes they just want a morning walk. And I would add to that statement, would you like to go on a cruise one of these days? Would you like to build a home for your family? Something that you will be really proud of. And I wouldn't tell them the morning walk is not a good idea, but they'll have to understand that will not allow them the financial latitude they would like to have, because they would like to have the financial latitude, but there's a lot more that they could accomplish. And in conversation, you realize that these are very intelligent people. Like in Boko Point, for example, no, in Montpezant, I know there's a strong love for football, and their grounds are basically up and running. I have a meeting with the team manager today to discuss, because the Montpezant team has moved up to tier 2 in the football, and they are looking for some assistance in being able to succeed there. So the conversation is always on. I listen to you, I hear what you're asking for, and if it's sponsorship you need, I might be able to have a conversation with some of the businesses in the community to help to meet you there. The Boko playground had suffered tremendously during COVID. There were animals, large animals, horses there, which dented the ground tremendously. We invested, I made my donations, and we got the ground. It's back up. I think it was cut again yesterday. The primary school asked for the ground because they want to compete in all the disciplines this year. We got it cut for them, and so they are stepping out to train. They're supposed to train today. I hope the rain allows them the time and space to train. So as the requests come for the assistance, I try my best to meet them. I met a young man recently on the street. I saw him walking with a big bale of toilet paper. I pulled over because I have a pickup. I could afford to take him, give him a ride, and he said, "I'm not getting help. I'm not getting help." And I said, "Here I am. How could I help you?" He said, "You know food, you know this, you know that." I said, "And nobody helping me." I said, "Listen, my office is open. You know where my office is. You have my phone number. You call me. Let's have the conversation and see where we could go and how best I could help you." And that's the cry. Sometimes there is one of the realities is that people have very high expectations of you in political office. They expect that expectations to the point that they expect you to be somehow predictable, or an expectation of predictability where you could be able to know what their needs are. But I want to encourage you wherever you are in Tobago. I want to encourage you and reach out to your area rep. Have the conversation. Have that conversation with your area rep to see, because there are a lot of challenges young people face that cannot be fixed by the area rep, but at least he must be able to point you up in a direction for your own success. Yeah, so the conversation continues. Yeah.
And what?
Well, Mr. Craig, it's time for us to wrap up, but I just want us to go beneath the surface. What are your plans for 2025? Like, what can we look forward to seeing from Mr. Sonny Craig in his capacity as assemblyman or even assistant secretary in the office of the chief secretary?
All right. As an assemblyman, I still hold dearly the aims and objectives I had for my district when I came to office, and those areas that were not met as yet, I want to make a dent this year. We recently opened back the Boko Fish facility. There is a training school there that was built by the Japanese some years ago. The refurbishment is almost complete. So we could be able to have that training component where fishermen from around the island could come and be briefed in more modern methods of fishing. So that's not just a Boko benefit, but it will benefit the entire island. I want to see that up and running in 2025. I want to see the fishermen make use of that facility. In Montpezant, I want to help the team to see if they could qualify, not just qualify, but win nationally this year. That's another thing I want to accomplish. I want to also have Tobago become more conscious of the environment and be a part of the team that is going to bring the island that kind of beauty and serenity that we want to see by just individuals being responsible, right? I want to see us win the 2 Tobago seats this year, East and West. I'm going to do my part in sharing that conversation. We know that that would be a major breakthrough in the benefit of the people of Tobago. The people of Tobago have suffered for too long by being represented by persons who are not listening to the Tobago conversation, but listening to their leaders in Trinidad. Yeah.
Right.
So I will.
And you said that there were some projects that you wanted to do that you didn't get to do. What were some of those key projects? And seeing that there were a number of things that you wanted to do that you were unable to do, or that you still want to do, or you want to try to do it in the last year, do you think that you would get the confidence of the persons within your district to be their representative again in the next 4 years?
I think I will be. because I work every day without being satisfied. I am not going to take myself to the point where I think I've done enough. I have not done enough. There's a lot more to be done, and it's my intention during this year to continue to pursue those things. One is, as I mentioned earlier, the goat racing and in the both major villages in my district. In the two major villages, I want to be able to begin some kind of research and development of different breeds of goat in the district, as that is the animal pegged to the events, the goat. I want to see, oh yes, and I didn't mention this one, I want to see the goat race become financially viable, where it lessens its dependence on the THA and it becomes a business. I want to see more events held during the year, which could add up to that kind of financial independence that we want to develop. Yeah?
Understood. But when we look at that goat race festival, right, we are seeing that the advancement and the growth of the Buku goat racing festival is far outweighing that of what is happening in Mount Pleasant, to the point where you see Buku going up and Mount Pleasant going down on a yearly basis. And Mount Pleasant requires a serious injection into its festival. I mean, we are in January. Yeah. Easter is a few short months away. What have you been doing to work with the community, to work with the Mount Pleasant Village Council to ensure that the resources that they need, preparation for the festival, marketing, and that engagement with community members to come out and be a part of helping to grow and establish that festival to the level that Buku is at, and to maybe even surpass it, and to continue to grow together, as opposed to Buku growing, Mount Pleasant deteriorating? What are you doing currently to work with the stakeholders to ensure that the both festivals can be on par?
I wouldn't subscribe to the view that it's declining.
Well, when we look at years gone by,
yeah,
the kind of, I am from Mount Pleasant, I actually
Yeah.
live very close to the field.
Right,
Very
okay,
close to the
okay.
field. And the kind of crowd that we previously saw flocking to the
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant
Right.
on Monday, Easter Monday, we are not seeing that anymore. We're more seeing persons with the new creation of the Tuesday holiday in Tobago, that Easter Tuesday holiday, everyone is going to Buku. So when we look at the numbers, it has deteriorated significantly.
Well, I think that, I have been more intimately into the festival since I took this chair. And since I've taken the chair, of course, the first year was post-COVID. And because it was post-COVID, we had, because it was post-COVID, it was kind of like now coming back out. That was 2022. Then we had 23 and 24, which to me were parallel. But being a resident in the community, I respect your analysis on that. When we came in 2023, the facility was run down, actually. We had to put out some expenditure to renovate the facility. Apparently the doors were left open, the place was vandalized a bit, and it took some major fixing thereabout. The toilet facilities, everything was basically a mess. So with that renovation of the facility, we were able to pull off 2023, right? The village council, who normally leads the charge, I am invited to their meetings from time to time, and as they are planning this goat race, I would be in the room, and we'll have to do that SWOT analysis. It might be a bit late, but it's better now than never. And to look at where we could make the day changes to lift the event to come on par with Buku Point, yeah? But it could be done, and it's a good product, and I think marketing might be the challenge.
Okay, well, Mr. Craig, I think we all can agree that this morning's conversation was an excellent one, very healthy, but unfortunately we are all out of time. So firstly, I want to thank you for agreeing to sit down in the Beneath the Surface chair this morning. The conversation really expanded our perspectives, and I really hope that the Tobagonians and all the viewers who were locked in this morning, they can agree with that. Chanel?
Excellent. I totally agree with you, Luke, and I look forward to continuing these discussions
Exactly.
Tomorrow as well as next week. And so we have all the assemblymen that will be here sitting in the chair, as some call it the hot seat, and they will be answering all our questions as we go beneath the surface. So guys, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussion. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster right here on the island of Tobago. Guys, have a great day.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.